Hey everybody, I'm back again. This time I'm talking about the draft because all the people are saying almost any quarterback coming out in this draft is better than Aidan O'Connell and he's going to come in and start day one. And that's nothing could be further from the truth because these quarterbacks, they just don't have pro style games. And I'll say that. Other people don't say that. And I don't think we have enough people paying enough attention to what's really going on, for these players and in these games. So I want to know what the heck I'm talking about, so I'm going to talk about it. Did my research, and at first we started with Caleb Williams, who will be the biggest bust that there has been since for a long time. Okay, a good long time. Let me explain to you why I think he is. This dude throws well, okay, 47% of his touches are between 1 and 10 yards. So over half, just around half, which is pretty much regular for in this area on this level. But still, once we go a little further into that number, we see that he does throw 86%, 86% from 1 to 10 yards on passes. And that seems like a really good number when you look at it. And then you go back down again and you realize that 44 of those 62 completions were screen passes. And that's all they do is they throw screen pass after screen pass after screen pass. Then they say Caleb tried to do something. He gets loose. And the only time he gets into the 10 to 20 yard range is when he gets out of the pocket. He has hardly any throws that I've tracked in the out in the pocket that go 10 or between the 10 and 20 yard line. So when he's in the pocket, there will be deep balls coming out of the pocket, but you won't see very many pro level throws. It's just not what he does. What he does is he stands back there and waits to create and waits to create. The problem is that waiting is going to work. He's not going to be the best athlete on the field. He's not going to be able to run around. It's going to be harder on him if he can't stay in the pocket and pass. And he can't stay in the pocket and pass. They're going to have to try to teach him, and it's not going to learn in a week or in the summer. So the other problems that he has is that his long ball is not what other people think it is. Pay attention and watch on it. He gets it out there, and most of the time he gets the long ball out there, it's on a hefty, long scrambling behind the line of scrimmage. And then when he eventually gets the ball off, yeah, someone's open, but his wide receivers are like down the field waiting and talking on the telephone, waiting for him to get the daggone ball down there. So, Caleb's back around, running circles, and wide receivers, if you watch the film, the wide receivers is down at the end of the field just looking, wondering, run this way, then run that way. They don't know what's going on because he doesn't know what's going on. They always got to find a way to create because all Caleb is doing is creating. You can't have a team full of creators and run an NFL team. You can't throw 30% on the long ball and expect to be a top-notch quarterback. These are the type of things that I'm seeing with Caleb Williams. His attempts are really high. By the way, the numbers I got, I looked on, of course, on YouTube, and they have you type in Caleb Williams versus, and it comes up with a bunch of teams that he played, and it will only show the passes. It won't show anything else. It only show his passes or his runs, and that's what I looked at for all the quarterbacks that I did this little research on. So you can go look at it and see next time when you look at it a little closer, because it's hard to watch that video without watching Caleb Williams. Every time you see Caleb Williams, because he has the ball, you're watching him and you're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for something to happen, and there's anticipation, and there's that nerves of what's not going to happen, then that excitement of what is going to happen, and it's a beautiful, happy thing to watch, and it's very exciting, but it's not winning football. and he's not going to be able to do what he's doing in the pros. And the problem is that's all he knows. All he knows is creation. He doesn't really know pocket. He doesn't really know timing. He knows his arm can shoot a cannon from here to the moon. He knows that he can wiggle, fake, shizzle, and do all the Michael Jackson moving behind the line of scrimmage he wants to because no one can touch him. And then eventually he'll find somebody because his wide receivers are great and they're playing against DBs who are less than great, at least to say. So this is not a pro style game. This is not the type of thing that's going to work. And a lot of people are in love with Caleb Williams because other people are in love with Caleb Williams. And that's all it is. It gets passed on and been passed on and been passed on, and everybody's like, oh, I love the way this guy plays. But watch the film again. If you ever go watch Caleb Williams play, ignore him completely and watch what his wide receivers are doing. His wide receivers are wondering what the heck he's doing and when are they going to get him the daggone ball. So he's a bust to me. And I don't see much coming from him. And I could be wrong. I'm not saying that anytime I do this, all I know is the numbers because I do my research. I see what's on the TV and I watch the films, what I believe is very closely. And from watching these films, Caleb Williams is not going to make it. Chicago is going to waste their pick again and life will continue. The only thing that could save Caleb Williams is going to Chicago if they just scrap it and say, forget it. We'll just be a running quarterback team and go ahead and try to, when we get in the cold weather, we'll try to just go run heavy, have you throw screen passes like you love doing. And maybe with a right coach, he could get something out of him. But I doubt it. I don't see it coming. So Caleb Williams versus Aidan O'Connell is a loss for Caleb Williams simply because he has no pro throws and he has no pro game. So I'm not worried about Aidan O'Connell losing his job to Caleb Williams. See you next.